Guys, we have to talk about yesterday's Nintendo Direct, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct. There was a Treehouse stream after. The Treehouse stream was cute. There were some things I liked about it. Not a lot of new information. Let's just focus on Smash. We haven't talked about Smash Bros. In a long time at this channel, and I've had a full day to sit on this Smash Bros. News. A full day. So what do I think? Where is the Smash Bros. Series going? What did they get right? What did they get wrong? Are my takes original? Well, let you guys be the judge. So the first thing I have to address, the elephant in the room, is that while the Grinch leaks were, well, fake. Haha, haha. I guess the Grinch didn't steal Smash Bros. After all. Bad puns aside, there were a lot of people upset that the leaks weren't true. They really wanted Banjo. They really wanted a playable Isaac. We got him as his assist trophy. Sorry, Isaac fans. Waluigi fans know your pain. But I honestly am okay with the leaks not being true. While I was on Team Real, it was more of a hopeful Team Real than a reality Team Real. In reality, and I said this before the start of the Direct, that I probably didn't feel the leaks were actually legit. However, I really wanted them to be legit because there was so much good stuff in those leaks. So, yeah, they were fake. A lot of people are outraged over them being fake. I mean, you have no one to blame but yourself for setting unrealistic expectations. It's fine to hope for the best, but actually expecting every character people have been calling for, probably not realistic. That being said, what we did get was very interesting. Now, look, I'm not a big into Street Fighter, so the inclusion of Ken doesn't really matter to me. Incineroar, I think, looks very interesting, but Incineroar, to me, the Pokemon characters have always been my least favorite, even though Charizard down there is my favorite Pokemon of all time and is playable. I just never really got that into the Pokemon in Smash. Now, the interesting one to me is the Piranha Plant. And for all the jokes about how I don't have a neck because I'm a fat bastard, the Peter Griffin jokes, whatever, I think Piranha Plant has enough neck going on for all of us out there that stand here neckless. And I mean that sincerely. Think about that. Did you see that stretch move? I mean, he was from one corner of the screen all the way to the other with this stretch attack. And I'm like, oh my God, look at that neck. That neck, bro. Seriously. I think Piranha Plant was interesting, not only because we didn't expect him, but because he actually looks a lot of fun and very interesting. And it showed that Masahiro Sakurai is just doing what he always does, and that is give us the unexpected. We don't really know what we want till we get it. Now I really want Piranha Plant. I do not like how Piranha Plant's being delivered. I like that it's free DLC, but only if you buy the game before the end of January. Are they going to charge after that? Is it just not going to be available for anyone who buys the game after, even though it could just be day one DLC for new purchasers of the game after January? I don't really understand the thought process here. It's either free DLC or it's not. Now it just feels almost like a pre-order bonus, except you have 2 months to get the bonus, and then never again. So I don't really like how it's being delivered. And while I'm going to have it because, well, I'm going to own Smash Bros., I don't like how they're delivering Piranha Plant and the limited quantity or the limited way they're doing it. That being said, they are bringing other DLC to the game. There'll be 5 new characters, 5 new stages, and some new music. They're going to package 1 character, 1 stage, and some music together. You could buy that, I think, for, what was it, $5.99? And then you could actually get all of them in one single pack, kind of like a season pass, if you were, a DLC, if you were, traditional DLC, not the microtransaction selling individual character DLC, for $24.99, which saves you about $5 overall if you want everything. And to me, thank you. You listened. This is what I've been complaining about with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS the whole time, was that there was no convenient way to own everything cheaply. No, you had to spend upwards of $100 to get everything between the 3DS and Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. In the past. You don't have to do that this time. Yeah, you can buy some things individually, but you can all just get it together as a package, not several different packages you need to combine together to really have everything, or just buy everything individually. They simplified it. They listened. They did not go down that path I talked about, trying to become the next EA, something I was worried about with Smash Bros. In particular. They improved upon it, and they kind of delivered exactly what I hoped. So thank you. We can argue about if the price point's worth it for the content, but that's a totally separate argument, I think, from just talking about how they are charging us and the way they're charging us. And yeah, the content runs through February of 2020, so exciting. I think they also said that none of them are Echo characters, so that's going to make people hyped as well. So we're not paying for just a copy of another character. We're getting new, unique characters, which is obviously of higher value, especially to people who play this particular game. Now, there's some other things that kind of bothered me, I guess, about this direct, if we're going to be on the critical side here. And that is some of the information. There's an information overload. They do this every time with Smash Bros. They overload us. But they went into the help menus. They went into the game menus. Nintendo, we did not need you to explain to us how there are 2 different brightness settings in a Nintendo Direct. That's something you could have put on a blog post. That's something you could have, just not told us at all, and we would have figured it out on our own for those of us that care. In general, most people don't care about the help menu and the options menu. That's just stuff that exists in every game, and we'll go through it if we feel like it and change things up. Just like if there's an ability to remove the HUD, it doesn't really need to be mentioned. Granted, there's not an ability for that, but I just think that it's silly that they spent so much time trying to explain the help system and the options menu. Just like they spent time explaining how, you could turn items on and off. It's like, yeah, you've been able to do that since the N64. We don't really need to go through all of these options like that. You can let people discover these things for themselves, and it's not going to harm the hype for the game, and it's not going to harm anything. So yeah, there's that information overload, giving us details we don't really need to know. I don't really care that we know all the characters, that we know all the modes. None of that really bothers me. It's just that particular aspect of diving that deep in. You probably could have cut this direct back to 30 minutes and not lost anything of significance. Now, we have to get to what the title of this video is, and that is that Kirby is not the hero we deserve, but the hero we all need. Because yes, folks, there's a story mode in this game. Sakurai heard our prayers, bringing an interesting story mode in that we don't fully understand. But what we do know is everyone's dead but Kirby. And then they're reincarnated as evil versions of themselves. At least that's what it looks like. So they all die, get reincarnated as evil versions. Kirby somehow jumps through time, actually warping, going fast enough with the warp star to literally warp. Something we haven't actually seen him do. It's been called a warp star, but we've never seen Kirby actually warp through time. We've seen him warp to new areas, but never through space and time. So it looks like he warps to a future time, and the world is in chaos, and everyone's gone but him, and Kirby is there to save the day. Now, it makes a lot of sense. We all know that for Sakurai, Kirby's basically his favorite character that he's ever created. So for Kirby to be the leading role in this, I think it's special. It doesn't look like you only have to play as Kirby along the way. You start as him. You can, as you're saving other characters, it looks like you might be able to play those characters instead of Kirby along the way. It looks very interesting. It's like a board game-like aspect to it, or more like a is it like a Kirby Star Ally style thing, or a Mario-esque thing with different levels and stuff? I don't know, it looks crazy. It looks like there might be boss fights. Don't really understand the story too much right now, beyond the fact that there's this big, massive evil being with a ton of fake master hands that basically snapped its fingers and Thanos the hell out of this entire universe. And yes. Perfect timing for that, especially since obviously the last Avengers movie we saw was the Thanos moment of snapping his fingers and just ending so many characters' lives. So I think this is a great direction for the story. We'll have to see how it plays out. I can't wait to live stream it with you guys and experience this together and just have a lot of fun with it. Through this mode, you also unlock these spirits, and these spirits you use as upgrades for your character in the spirit mode of the game, and you can put the spirits attached to your character, and they give you stat boost and item boost and bonuses. You can attach other spirits to that spirit and get additional bonuses. Not sure how it all functions and works. It reminds me a bit of Splatoon, except in Splatoon it's randomized bonuses you get on your items. Here it's no, you pick which items you're gonna equip, like in other RPGs out there, and just make it work. And Smash isn't an RPG, but here we are talking about RPG elements. So I think that's just kind of a nifty way they're handling things. And overall, I just have to say, I am more hyped for Smash Bros. Than I was before the Direct. So in terms of the overall Direct, good job, Nintendo. Good job, Masahiro Sakurai. You did an excellent job presenting this, and I couldn't be more happy with what Smash Bros. Is. Now, one other criticism to mention, and I know it feels like I'm mentioning a lot more criticisms than positives, but it's Smash Bros, guys. I mean, we know what Smash Bros is. I love it. I don't really need to. Do I need to go into all the reasons I love Smash Bros? I don't think so. So one last thing I want to mention is the online modes. So how it works is you pick your settings for online. Items off, items on, what kind of stages, stage editors on, stage editors off, blah, blah, blah. You pick all that stuff, and then you will get matched up against someone that hopefully has picked the same settings as you have. However, if no one is available that has picked the same settings, that's around the same rank as you, you can get matched up against someone else who picked different settings or are different ranks than you. And when that happens, you might not want to play with, you might want to play, as an example, with items off. You can get matched up with someone who wants to play with items on. Random selection determines his rule set is chosen, and next thing you know, you're playing with items on when you wanted to play with items off. Essentially, they took what they did before, which was basically, here's an online play mode, and then here's the For Glory mode. The For Glory mode's items off. It's what a lot of hardcore Smash players were using to hone their skills and practice in between tournaments. They took that and said, you know what, we're getting rid of For Glory, and we're smashing it into the other mode and just combining it all. And there'll be an overall MR ranking system with points and all this stuff, but you don't really ever know which rule set you're going to play by. And I think that that's a massive deterrent to this. I don't know why they did it this way. I don't think casual fans that want to play with items, I don't even want to say you're casual if you want to play with items. If you're just someone who wants to play with items and you're really good at Smash, and you're someone who doesn't, I don't think you should be forced to play together and potentially have to play with opposing rule sets that you don't enjoy. It does get you out of your comfort zone and all that stuff, but ultimately, I don't think that's what they should be doing. I don't know why For Glory mode went away. Ironically, at E3, they separated out the Smash demos by For Glory and basically For Honor. And For Honor was just casual, no one really cared, play with items, go crazy. And the For Glory mode was like hardcore, Final Destination style stuff, no items and all of that, like you would see at a traditional tournament. And it just baffled me that this was the case, because they did that at E3, but you can't do that in the game. Now, thankfully, you can custom make your own online tournaments, and through custom making your own online tournaments, you can preset the rules. So you can still do tournaments with friends and turn all the items off or have all the items on for everyone and make it fair in that way. But when you're just trying to practice online, pro players are probably not going to be happy with how that system turned out. Is this going to deter the game from being used in the professional Smash scene and at places like EVO? I don't know, but it obviously isn't going to help the case. That's for sure. That being said, is it fair to say that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate might be one of the largest video games ever made? Like, this isn't some open world, massive Red Dead Redemption 2 style game, Breath of the Wild game, yet it feels almost like there's more content in this game than in most video games pretty much ever, from the different modes, from the 74, yes, 74 characters, 75 when you get Piranha Plant, 80 when you get all the DLC characters. So with the 80 total characters, what is it, 108, 109 stages or whatever it's going to end up at the end, all of the 900,000 plus music tracks or whatever that is. So how many different gameplay modes are there? There's something like a dozen, 15, 16 different gameplay modes, plus all the online modes, and the Spirit mode, and the World of Light mode, which is the story mode we talked about earlier. Like, there's so much going on in this game. It is so far beyond what any Smash Bros. Game has done, what any other fighting game has done. If we're being completely honest, there's never been a fighting game that has quite done it like this. And it's arguably well beyond some open world games. I mean, does this game really have more content in it than Breath of the Wild? It certainly has more variety of content, that's for sure. I'm left miffed at this, and I often wonder, is this, Masahiro Sakurai's final Smash game? Because it truly feels like he's put everything into this, and this is like a swan song for him for the franchise. I mean, literally, it's the one time he could bring everything together. if that doesn't feel like a walk-away game, then nothing really does. But of course, he hasn't publicly talked about if it's his last game. We know in the past he said, "Oh, I don't want to make Smash forever. This will be my last one," and then he comes back and makes another. So again, he could just go. He's still got DLC to make. Once he gets past that, maybe he just hops right into making the next Smash game, or Kirby, or Kid Icarus, or something. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see what this final version of the game is. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say than that. I'm just excited. I think some people got overhyped, and that's why they're underwhelmed. I'm not underwhelmed at all. This game is looking to be, if there was ever a Super Smash Bros. Game to buy, this is it. If there's ever a system that was worth owning to play a Smash Bros. Game, Switch is it. Folks, we have done it. We have gotten potentially almost like the perfect game. Now, side note, they didn't talk about Break the Targets. It doesn't look like Break the Targets is in the game. Damn you, Sakurai. I really want to Break the Targets back. Could be there. Maybe they just haven't unveiled it. At this point, I don't know that any additional content that's in the game is going to be that surprising. All right, you guys let me know what you thought about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Direct in the comments below. Also, below in the description, we have a Gleam.io link for a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Switch giveaway. So go ahead and enter that. It's absolutely free. If you like this video, smash that like button because, hey, the more people that like this video, the more people that end up seeing the video. Yay, YouTube algorithm caring more about the likes than the actual viewership or the comments or anything else. Whatever. We got to play the YouTube game because that's what we're on, YouTube. All right, folks, with a tip of my Pokemon cap, I say I'll catch you all in the next one. Kirby. Seriously, Kirby. Guys, did you know, Kirby? Kirby is the hero we need. Seriously, guys, Kirby is the hero we're getting. Guess it's the hero we all deserve.